Outrage in Chicago after video captures a mother and her 9-year-old son being harassed and then badly beaten by grade school children while walking near a school. We talked to two leaders of that Chicago community in just a moment, but first, let's go to Mike.
Oh, what's going on here?
Tobin live there with the details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Parents and, frankly, people all over Chicago are now kind of horrified and outraged at this video.
What
it's not
was
going
that?
viral. It has gone viral.
Okay.
Of a mother and a 9-year-old son who were mobbed and beaten by a group of school-age bullies. Now, the video is a bit brutal, so be ready for that. But it shows this mother and the aggressiveness of the kids increasing as Corshwanda Hatter tries to protect her son. Finally, this mob of young...
She's not really protecting her son. The son is protecting her.
Brutal, so be...
If this is the son right here, then the person who's being protected is the mother. You're not really protecting your son in the context of this here. Okay.
Ready for that, but it shows this mother and the aggressiveness of the kids increasing as Corshwanda Hatter tries to protect her son. Finally, this mob of youngsters started to strike Corshwanda and her 9-year-old son. They were both knocked to the ground, and the beating continued.
Oh my God, dude.
Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my homie go. Let my
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show the video on YouTube. 100%. Jeez, dude. And these are kids. These are kids.
She says her son had been bullied at school for 2 years, and the school did nothing to protect him, so she showed up to walk her kids home. Now, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson did say, he put out a statement on X that he was deeply disturbed, and we should not attempt to normalize this type of senseless violence. Chicago police put out a statement saying both victims were transported to Trinity.
Okay, guys, I don't listen to nothing Brandon Johnson says. I don't think that he has the best interest of the people that basically put him in office. I don't think so at all. I think his main goal in life is to become like vice president with J.B. Pritzker as being president of the United States of America. I think this is exactly this is who he is here. He has no interest in what he's saying. These words are completely empty. I don't really see, I don't put any stock at all into any of these words that he's using here. I don't believe him. I think he's a complete shill. He will say whatever needs to be said to basically put him in like the best political light as humanly possible. That's it here. I think if he had actual interest in saving some of the people that are in the south side, west side of Chicago specifically, he would actually do something. Maybe even like utilize Trump's assistance specifically with the National Guard to kind of help some of the people stay alive in the town that he is the mayor of. I would say that if he actually cared, he'd actually fix these issues. But he doesn't. He only cares about what it looks like politically. But either way,
this type of senseless violence. Chicago police put out a statement saying both victims were transported to Trinity Hospital in serious condition. No one is in custody at this time.
Of course not.
Area 2 detectives are investigating. In Illinois State Senator Willie Preston said this video is a symptom of something that's been going on for a long time.
Let's hear this.
The kids have not been held accountable, and the parents have not been held accountable for the actions of their children.
Bro, immediately jail the parents. That's where I am right now with that. I do think that if the kid is under a certain age, then you need to start heading towards the parent, because the parent is responsible for rearing and making sure you know where your kid is specifically. So if your kid is out here doing this and it looks like a definite mob here, so that means that this is most likely indicative of the parentage that's happening in that area. So yeah, arrest the parents. Right, the parents are going to have to 100% take accountability and responsibility for the acts that their children are doing when they're outside of their tutelage.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much.
Jeez,
so our next guests know this family very well. Chicago Councilmember Joseph Williams met with the mom after the attack, and Pastor Cory Brooks, founder of Project Hood, knows the boy who attends his after-school and summer programs. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining the program. Pastor, this is something that you have been working with for years now, trying to stop nonsense like this with our young people. What's going on?
Well, unfortunately, this is the cycle that we continue to see in the city of Chicago, where violence is so rampant and parents are being held unaccountable. And that's the reason why I'm walking across America trying to get people to wake up in our urban areas so they can understand the magnitude of the issues that we're faced with every single day. Chicago is just a micro.
Yeah, bro, they don't care. Like, I don't know why you're walking across America. I hear you're giving us an example for why, right? But unless you're playing like, Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B, pretty much as loud as you possibly can, I'm not sure they're going to care. Some Sexy Red, maybe some Glowzilla, right? Like those type of things, right? I mean, they don't care, bro.
Microcosm of what's going on across America. These young people are unruly. They have no moral compass. And we need organizations to really work hard to make sure we change the direction of our neighborhoods. If we're ever going to change the trajectory of our young people, we got to catch them early. We got to continue to do the work. But the tragedy is in Chicago right now,
shame.
We're facing some devastation that has been going on for years, and we need to get a handle on it.
Yeah.
This is what the mother had to say about this incident. Let's play it.
I'm trying to get justice for my son. They fought my son, they hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair.
We haven't held these kids accountable.
What did she? Never mind.
We haven't held parents accountable.
Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome.
And be targeted by children inside of our own community.
You're right.
Councilman, where is the fear and respect? I remember growing
up. There is none.
We were afraid of the neighbors because we knew that they was going to get us, and our parents was going to get us when we got home as well.
Exactly.
None of that respect seems to exist anymore, Councilman.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we've gone away from that, and we have to get back to those days. I think no mother and child, or children rather, should have to experience something so traumatic. To look at that video and to see you guys replay it, it's a horrifying video.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows the disrespect. No child should ever feel comfortable putting
their hands on an adult. Right, absolutely.
And I think, as Senator Preston said, and many have said it, is that this has gone on for so long, right? The mother has come to the school and talked about this, and nothing had been done about it. It had not been addressed. And the thing about it is that, I was glad to be there to be a support to that family and to help them through the process. But this is so much bigger than just that school. This is happening throughout the Chicago public school system.
Something in her bloodstream or something, guys. That's wild.
And we have to put measures in place and make sure that those parents' voices are being heard and that those children's voices are being heard. Because if not, this can really overspill into something even bigger, I believe.
It's so true, Councilman. And it's already spilling into the streets outside of the school.
Guys, I wouldn't say that's going to get bigger. I would say that it's just indicative of the legitimate neighborhood that this happened in. That's it here. We're already at the pinnacle. It can't really get worse, guys. And not truthfully, not on the south and west side of Chicago. Not really, bro. I mean, how much worse can it get? I mean, you walk down the street, you're wearing something that someone else doesn't have. They get jealous. They take your existence. Welcome to the hood, bro. Right? Like, that's just what this is here. How much worse can it get? Truthfully, like we're already there. We're now to the point where these young elementary school students are basically ganging up and jumping, let's say, an adult with her son, to the point where the son protects the mother, right? Like, you understand what's happening here, guys? I don't know. I can't imagine it getting worse. Doesn't make any sense.
Get your comments on
what's
this
worse than this?
Offender in Chicago with a lengthy rap sheet. He's accused of setting a woman on fire while they're on the train.
Jesus Christ.
So this is the type of leadership that we have in Chicago. We have children who are being held unaccountable, and we also have criminals who are being set free. Criminals who are being allowed to wreak havoc on the streets of Chicago.
I don't know anymore,
That's
bro.
one of the reasons why we have so much violence. That's one of the reasons why we have so much recidivism. That's one of the reasons why we are experiencing the type of atmosphere of violence that we have in Chicago. These individuals are not being held accountable, and then you have these policies that are being put in place by our legislature and by our government that sometimes help the criminals more so than help the victims. And if we continue to go down this cycle with the leadership that we have in place,
appreciate the sub,
we're going to
bro.
continue to see our community go in a downward spiral. We're going to continue to be the laughing stock of America. We're going to be, it may look like we're one of the best cities or voted one of the best cities externally, but internally we all know the serious issues that we have inside of Chicago, and it all falls and rises on leadership.
Councilman, I'm already over time, but I have to ask you this question.
Brandon Johnson, guys.
We know how Chicago is run. We know how Illinois is. It's all blue. Is it time to explore something else? Because something is not working, and it's only one side that's in charge right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this. I'll say there's no problem with us being a blue state. I represent that. But what I will say is that we have to make sure we're being intentional and we're putting the resources where we need to put them at. We got to invest into those nonprofits that are on the ground doing the work. We got to make sure we're building more community centers so our children can have someone to play. And we got to put the investment where it needs to go. Some of those things that you're saying are mental health issues. We got to really invest the money.
Okay.
And put
Okay. Guys, I'm over this, man. Listen, so basically the host basically gave him a gimme. I understand this is Fox News, so the guy is definitely going to lean very right with his statement and how he framed the question. Obviously, the framing was interesting. Now, the councilman obviously saw the framing, recognized it immediately, and was just like, there's no problem with us being a blue state. Listen, you're right. Let's say this here. There's no problem with you being a blue state, sure. There's no problem with you being whatever you want to be, bro, right? Live your best life, right? But just understand this here. You have to notice that if you're excessively soft on crime and you want to get all touchy-feely with legitimate, criminals, right? Like, how are you expecting for anything to actually, change? It's never going to change, bro. It can't change. How can it change? There's nothing forcing it to change. Like, you sitting down, community leaders, funded programs, all this other nonsense, I'm sure that would have worked in the 1970s. Right? And what I mean by that is, think about when Chicago, specifically the south and west side of Chicago, was the worst. Right? That was basically, after, let's say, the Great Migration, a little bit after that, let's say, but around the time where everyone was basically starting to kind of come together in like these ghettoized areas and creating the ghetto that we know as the south and west side of Chicago, guys, right? Nothing's ever going to get good, bro. You would have had to fix it at the root, not allow it to flourish into what it is now. We're done talking, right? The conversations are not working anymore, bro. Right? Not for that area, at least. We need to actually find something that's actionable. Now, will the National Guard end up being some type of like Band-Aid? Potentially. I think so. It'll be a Band-Aid, but it'll in fact give enough time to actually see if we can kind of get the people that are causing most of the havoc off the street for a long period of time, bro. Right? Make it so the dollar bond or the $100 bond stuff doesn't exist, guys. Listen, if they're a criminal, they need to go away and get off the street, bro. That's it. Like, how are we even arguing about this, right? And then the other guy with the walk across America shirt, he's basically talking about how, it starts at the top. It does start at the top, bro. Brandon Johnson and JB Pritzker are basically running your state and biggest city. What are you expecting from it? Listen to how they speak about illegality and criminality. They're completely fine with it as long as it makes them feel good, right? That's it here. They're like, oh, illegal immigration, we're good, right? We're completely good. I'm fine with that type of criminality. So if they're fine with that type of criminality, then why would they not be fine with, people losing their existence on the south and west side of Chicago? They're not trying to fix anything. Guys, I don't like Brandon Johnson. Okay, because I listen to him speak and I immediately get moderately enraged. I'm like, dude, you have the ability to fix the problem. People are trying to give you the tools to fix the problem, but yet your response is, I don't want to do this because it makes people feel bad. Bro, people are losing their lives, but that's fine. That's fine, Brandon Johnson. Okay, Brandon Johnson. Okay, Brandon Johnson and JB Pritzker. I'm fine. Right. Guys, Chicago needs help. The state of Illinois needs help. All right. Denver needs help. A couple of these places need help. All right. The guy with the Walk Across America shirt also kind of pointed out how Chicago is a laughing stock of the United States of America. You're not the only one. You can look at Milwaukee. You can look at East St. Louis. You can look at some places within Charlotte, North Carolina, and North Carolina. You can look at Baton Rouge, bro. Look at Memphis, Tennessee, right? These are all look at D.C. before Trump put the National Guard there, bro. Like, understand these here. Like, no one deserves to live in a manner that the people that are living in these hyper ghettoized, violent, economic desert, education desert, food desert type of places are living in. No one deserves to live in that area, right? Like, you understand? They deserve to kind of be able to grow without the outside influence of just complete negativity and violence, bro. right? You understand what I'm saying here, guys? Send in the National Guard, clean up this literal nonsense, and let's move on, bro. Like, give the young ones a chance that doesn't involve being in some, like, you know, gang or something, bro. It's just my opinion, obviously, but it frustrates me to encounter like anything. Anytime I see Gavin Newsom, all right, anytime I see JB Pritzker specifically, Kathy Hochul occasionally, and or Brandon Johnson, like those people right there immediately enrage me if I see anything about them, because I'm just like, dudes, you're not trying to fix nothing. That's it. Let me guess, you're gonna run for president in a couple of years, bro. That's what I'm encountering. You're trying to make sure your base super loves you instead of actually doing something to fix the problem, right? But all right, that's where we're at. That's just where we are, guys. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.